That doesn't sound great. Welcome to the 15th Floor, a Radiohead reaction podcast where a Gen X father who's a Radiohead fan tries to convince his Gen Z son that Radiohead is the greatest band of all time. We react to Radiohead songs one by one, as I listen for the zillionth time and he listens most of the time for the first time and reacts to those songs. As always, thank you so much for your likes, your subscribes, your views, your kind comments. To address a couple of things that have been brought up, more than once now, someone has said to me, you're convincing me that Radiohead's great, but you're definitely not convincing me that Radiohead is the greatest band of all time. I understand that. It would be almost impossible for me to pick 3 to 5, 6, 7, 8 songs and say, listen to these songs, aren't you convinced they're the greatest band of all time? Because it won't be one song that convinces you of that, even though I think they have the greatest songs of all time. It will be the collection as a whole that will convince you of that. It will be the fact that they don't really miss. And the fact that they start off very clearly in 90s rock and then progress to a more advanced rock and then progress to electronica, then progress into jazz, looping. There's every genre of music represented essentially except rap and country music. But other than that, they touch it all, and they touch it all well. A great example of that is I'm a huge Queen fan. I really love Queen. They're one of my favorite bands. I think Tom York, Tom Chaplin, Freddie Mercury, and Steve Perry are the greatest male vocalists in rock and roll. Queen's great. However, if I played Queen's greatest hits for you, you'd hear that and say, yeah, those are all great. You're convincing me this is a great band. If I put one of their albums in and just play beginning to end for that entire album, you're going to run into a few stinkers. Even I, who love Queen, can admit they're not always awesome. If I play you Don't Stop Believin', you're going to hear that and say, that is a great song. That's a great band. Do they do that every time? Sorry, no. They do stuff like that a lot, but they also have a lot of stinkers. A great band, not the greatest band of all time. They're a skip band. Radiohead is not a skip band. There's never a song to skip because that's how good they are. That's my hypothesis. Let's see how much my son knows me. Radiohead is a no-skip band. I have, I think, 2 other no-skip bands. Let's see if you can guess them.
I don't listen to your music in the car that much. I listen to my own music, but I have never seen you skip Pink Floyd.
That's right.
Pink Floyd.
That's right. You'll never see me skip Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd doesn't miss.
I think I have to say Keane.
Keane is the other one. Nice. Keane is the other band that I do not skip. I don't think Keane has a bad song. The thing about Keane, though, is they stay in their lane. They are heavy on the melody, and they're heavy melody all the way through. If you love melody in your music, if you love a good tune with great lyrics, then you're going to love Keane, but they always stay in a very narrow genre, and they do it very well. Pink Floyd, they have a much broader lane, but it is still a lane they stay in, and you kind of know what you're listening to. Radiohead has a very broad lane, and they never fail, and that is why the hypothesis stands, and that is what we're trying to prove. The only way I can prove it to you, though, is if you check us out every episode. The more you check us out, the more you give me a chance, you will understand, yeah, he's right. They have not missed. And then you're going to catch yourself listening on your own. And then eventually you're just going to, you'll wear a shirt. Scott's right. Radiohead's the greatest band of all time. Let's make some shirts.
We gotta get the copyright claim.
Yeah, that's true. For what? Radiohead's the greatest band of all time? That's copyright me. For those of you who've never seen this channel before, we basically just talk about, I get a chance to gush about my favorite band and their songs, and you get a chance to react and tell me if I'm right, correct?
Yep.
Today, it could not be avoided. We have to get it sooner or later. We are doing from 1993's Pablo Honey, Creep. Anyone who knows Radiohead knows that this is their greatest hit, their most popular hit. Anyone who loves Radiohead generally writes this song off and says, it's not Radiohead. It's not what Radiohead has become. In fact, it's a far cry from what Radiohead does now. But you cannot deny it's what made Radiohead Radiohead. It was my introduction to Radiohead, and it was a great song. It's very stuck in time. It's a time capsule song. You hear it, it's from the 90s. But I think there is a timeless aspect to it. And I still love Creep. If you're a Radiohead fan and you're trying to write off Pablo Honey or Creep by itself, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's a great album. This is still a good song, a great song, and we're gonna nail it right now, aren't we?
Yep.
Full disclosure, Jacob has heard Creep before. What do you know about Creep?
It's my favorite song to play on Rock Band.
On Rock
Really
Band.
entertaining to play.
That's right. It's fun. Actually, we're gonna play the clean version because actually that's the version I generally listen to, and my son's right here, and I'm not playing a song with an F word. So, by the way, if you suggest modern music for us to listen to, Gen Z type music, might as well not have any swearing because it doesn't do anything for me. So, we're going to listen to the clean version of Creep, and we'll stop it along the way. As we listen to the song, don't hesitate to leave your comments, your thoughts on the song Creep. The music video is in the description below, and that's probably the dirty version.
When you were before. We're just finished. Obviously, I like to stop at the intro, talk about the intro. The intro, it goes well with the mood of the song. It's like this creepy mood. That's basically all I have to say. It's just, yeah.
That chord progression you're hearing is the chord progression throughout the song. That chord progression is a G up to a B, down to a C, and then a C minor. That G to a B, I think it makes a very particular sound that people immediately resonate with other songs when they hear that. But it's not a classic jump, say like G to C, F to B, that sort of thing. This is G to B, and then the C to the C minor. Same chord progression throughout the song if you want to play it on the guitar.
Couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Skin makes me cry. You float like a feather. I wish I was special. You're so very special. But I'm a creep.
The guitar.
The guitar.
The guitar.
Yep.
You can't go wrong with the guitar.
That guitar is classic because those are what's called dead notes. So Johnny is playing those, and he has his fingers on the strings, but not pressing down hard enough on the fret to actually produce a sound other than that distorted. And he's just hitting the strings, killing them actually. But those are considered dead notes or ghost notes. And that's the part that everyone's really familiar with. Classic story that they're playing this song in the studio, and Johnny he just out of sheer boredom just decided to make that noise. I needed it louder, so he made it louder, and they loved it. Trying to ruin the song, Johnny improved the song.
By a lot.
But he made the song.
That is definitely one of the best sounds I can hear from an instrument, and that is one of the reasons why a guitar is my favorite thing to listen to in a song. Because you could do so many things with it, and it makes a song good.
Yeah.
The mood, just the way that Tom York is singing, and the, I don't want to say message of the song, but the story of the song, him being a creep and kind of being a stalker to this one person, I think Tom York can sing that perfectly. Just puts the people in the mood.
Yeah, in the early 90s, we just loved self-loathing, and this song has a lot of self-loathing.
It's the emo.
Yeah, that's right. Pre-emo.
I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here.
And then even though the chorus gets more pumped up, you can still you still have that creepy, eerie mood to it.
Yeah, the chorus as well.
Yeah, in the chorus as well. Just like even when things are loud and you're getting pumped up, you don't really think of creepy and eerie, but that song it does it right.
I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice you're so very special. makes you happy. Whatever you want, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
Creep.
Yep.
I love the end of that, when the last time through the chorus, when it's not distorted, and you bring in the piano. That's just great. There's no piano through the rest of the song. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It still is beautiful. After all these years, I still, of course, don't skip Creep. Who can review this song better than Beavis and Butthead? Beavis and Butthead watched Creep and reviewed Creep. And sure enough, they start off, and Butthead's a little surly about how quiet it is. And then it gets into that guitar, and then into the chorus, and yep, the horns go up, and they immediately start rocking. And they point out the obvious: why don't you just keep rocking the whole time? Because the message and the power of coming back and then coming back in. It's very Pixies. Tom York makes no bones about the fact that this song is a little bit after the in the style of the Pixies, quiet verses, loud distorted choruses. And he was really into the Pixies at the time, and this is the type of rock that Tom York, that Radiohead gets into rock and roll with. When they record Pablo Honey, their songs are like this. It's also the same type of rock that just a few years later they absolutely disdain. But when they're in this realm, they're very good at it. What do you think the message of Creep is? Don't be a stalker?
Yep. Don't be a stalker.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
I actually like to think of it as the creep is the same person that is being stalked. Like in Tom York's case, if it is autobiographical, it's this person who is keeping distance from this other side of them that's creeping them out, that's making them feel uneasy about themselves. And that gives it a different meaning. I don't know if it's the meaning he means, and I don't care. The legend has it that they recorded this. They didn't know they were being recorded at the time. They were just playing it. And when they finished playing it, the entire production room just erupted in cheers and applause. And when they finally were able to convince them, no, that's an original song, they were like, that's the hit. We're going to go with that. Again, in the early days of Radiohead, they talk lovingly about this song. They love playing this song. They love the fans' reaction to the song. It just got too demanding to keep playing the song all the time. They'd go to concerts with better, newer music as they were preparing for the Bends, and everybody only wanted to hear Creep. And after a while, you can get the idea that would get a little bit, upsetting. After the end of the OK Computer tour, they leave it alone for a long time. They didn't start playing it live again regularly until the Moon-Shaped Pool tour, which is just recently. They played it here and there a couple of times, but for the most part, they left it alone. Score. On your scale, what do you give Creep?
I will give Creep a 9 out of 10. It's not... and personally, as I listen to more Radiohead songs, it will not be good as High and Dry. And you said this before, but Radiohead, as good as a song Creep is, it's not in your top 10 and whatever. It's not in your top favorite songs. But... so that makes me wonder if I should put it at a 9 and maybe a little bit lower. Nope. So right now it's a 9, but it might go lower after I listen to more songs.
Nope, I think as you hear more songs, I think you're going to say, man, they really are evolving. And that makes me appreciate when they were doing that thing back in 1993, how well they were doing that. I appreciate that even more. You'll give it a 9. You'll keep it a 9. Let's keep it a 9. Keep it a 9.
Okay.
It's a 9.
Yep.
It's a 9. If you're a Radiohead fan, tell us what you think of Creep. Be honest. Don't try to be cool. Don't be like, oh, Creep, Radiohead fans always try to be too cool. Don't be cool. Tell us how you feel about the song. It's a good song, right? So as you know, if you've watched the channel before, that we let my younger children listen to the song. They draw drawings based on that. They're a lot younger, so their drawings are to be interpreted as such. My daughter drew a picture of the thing on the left says me, and it's just a creepy person with kind of tentacles coming out of a space helmet. That's very Radiohead, by the way. The hollow eyes, very good. and then the other person is you and is kind of weirded out. And then my son drew a picture of that's a skip sign. What that Ghostbuster no smoking symbol is the skip sign right there that says no set. He didn't explain what he meant by no set, but I'm not going to tell him it's not what it means. And then that's a frowny face and a creepy face. So obviously the sad person is a little creeped out by the creepy face. And I think the thing above it is the world. So all around the world there are creeps who do not set. And if you don't get his art, then
You're not a true Radiohead
maybe
fan.
you're more of a pop-up book fan.
Yeah.
If this is your first time listening to the channel, please go back and listen to some of the other ones we've done and comment on those and share them. And we've got everything coming down the pike. It's going to get really exciting. I'm really excited to show you some stuff. Another thing that has come up a little bit, and I like this suggestion because I've thought a lot about this. We realize the Doors are not a great background. And when we started this podcast, we thought we were going to get 5 views, so it just didn't really matter much. I thought, hey, my best friends will listen to this, and some of your friends will listen to it. We're getting a lot more views than we thought. We understand we've got to set up a better situation. We will do that, hopefully, by the next time. Probably the big one we want to address is a lot of people. We've already talked a little bit about the idea that we could expand on the reaction, because we've already talked about, for those of you who didn't watch the last episode, that I don't know a lot of modern music. I love the music that I love, but if it's newer than 2000 and it's not Keane or maybe The Killers or some super mega hit, then I don't know it. We would like to start kind of a side project where maybe every once in a while we react, both of us, to suggestions from you guys. If you know I'm a Radiohead fan, you know he's an Imagine Dragons fan, and you think we might hear something that we like that we haven't heard yet, if you come up with something we haven't heard, we'll be happy to do a reaction, and I think that's a perfectly fine idea. Maybe we'll make a little sub-channel of this channel. Keep giving us suggestions on what you think a Gen Zer needs to be introduced to for Radiohead. Continue to like, subscribe, comment, share it like crazy. Continue to love one another and keep listening to music together. This has been
The 15th Floor.